Good morning, everyone. It is Friday, July 13th, 2018, and it's about, what, 9:30 in the morning? Something really funny just happened. See him over there licking his paw? He's licking coffee off of his paw. Here's what happened was, I'm sitting here drinking my coffee, and he's doing his whole kitten thing where he's bouncing and jumping up here, and then he's right here on my lap just kind of bouncing around, and he does this weird kind of like weird jumps up in the air and flips around, and his front leg went right down into the coffee cup. And he was just like, what is that? What is that? What is going on? Don't worry, it wasn't a hot coffee. It was just, he wasn't expecting, for his leg to all of a sudden be in a warm liquid. So he was just like, what was that? Oh, no. He goes to flinging it everywhere. It's like, freaking out. He's still licking his paw like, oh goodness, what was that? I don't know what's going on. Are you over it now? Are you over it now? Some of these moments, to be able to capture moments like that, I would have to have the camera on all the time, and I can't do it that way, but it would have been fun if I could have captured that. Well, it is a little bit after 11 now, and I'm out here at the festival grounds in Fort Wayne. As you can see, it's Friday. We've got the rides area. Nobody's here. But they got us opening at 11 anyway. Whatever, it's going to be kind of a slow start. First Friday, it'll kind of like that. But I am working today with Mr. Bobby Morris. This is actually his booth. I'm working on commission for him. What's the name of your company?
The Two Heads.
Right. AJ Jensen from around the Atlanta area, Toon Heads. Him and Bobby Morris together make up the Toon Heads, and they go around. They do festivals and a lot of hourly gigs and stuff around the Atlanta area. He lives a little below Macon, right?
Yep.
What's the name of the city you're in?
Byron.
He's in Byron. Probably the only caricaturist in Byron. So if you're out there, know somebody out there, this is the guy to hire. How long have you been a caricaturist?
I'm going to say 5 years.
Because he's been at it for 5 years.
Not as long as you.
Well, no, not as long as me, but I will have to say he's faster than me, and he doesn't use a pre-sketch. So I think it's fair to say this guy's better than me.
We'll do a race.
He's got a nice big family he supports on it too, which is it's a little better than what I do. So what got you started doing caricatures?
Well, I've always liked to draw. I thought everyone knew how to draw. I was surprised to find out that everyone did draw. So I saw caricatures when I was in college, and I thought it was really cool. I wanted to try it out. So I messed up a bunch of my friends' faces for free. And finally, someone said, hey, you want to do caricatures at an event? And I said, sure. $50, did the whole day.
It seems pretty simple, really. It was one of those deals. Are people willing to pay you for it? You saw an opportunity to make some money and just kept going with it.
That's right.
That's good. Right.
The hobby turned into a job.
There you go. Now, you did used to be a art teacher for a while, right?
7 years.
7 years, and was that like a college or high school art?
That was elementary.
Elementary school art.
K through 5.
7 years. And now you're a full-time caricature, self-employed caricaturist.
Yeah.
Life's an adventure, isn't it?
Yes.
What's the furthest you've ever drove for a festival? This is it. This is it.
Indiana. Yep.
Okay, so from Byron, Georgia, to Fort Wayne, Indiana. That's the farthest he's gone. How many miles is that? That's like 400 miles, isn't it?
Think about that.
Yeah, it's about 400 miles. So pretty good. Pretty good. So anyway, you guys might remember him from ISCA as well. So he's serious about it. He was at the convention with me this year. So this is who I'm working with. Going to be out here in Fort Wayne the entire weekend, and then all the way through the week and next weekend too. So this is one of my favorite cities to work in. Fort Wayne is called the big city with a small town feel. Yes. And the air smells like fresh baked bread. Now, that's not a joke. It actually does. They have a factory. Is it Hostess?
I don't know, but it smells correct.
There's a factory out here that it smells like fresh baked bread all the time out here. And last year when I was here, I got to do some exploring. I found the good restaurants, the good art museums, all the fun stuff. So I'm going to have plenty of stuff to make videos about throughout this week. And so I'm trying to give you guys some good idea of why I love Indiana and Fort Wayne so much. So stick around for that.
I've got to give it to you.
It is now the next morning, about 8:30 in the morning, Saturday, July 14th, 2018. Good morning. This is the campground that I'm at. It's about 30 minutes north of Fort Wayne. It's a Blue Lake campground. Here is the shower house. I decided to show up at downtown Fort Wayne an hour early this morning because of this huge flea market. Now, this flea market is not one of the ones that happens every Saturday and Sunday. This one happens once a year on the first Saturday of the Three Rivers Festival. Last year I came out here and found some really cool stuff. So let's go take a look. Oh. Okay, yeah. Found a Jim Varney movie where Jim Varney is not the main character.
Do you know?
I have no idea what's in there.
If I was still building steampunk stuff, boy, this would be a real cache right here. I'd buy the entire box. Atari Flashbacks. Flashback 5. Look at this. I got a Charlie McCarthy doll, complete with a case. I don't know if it came with it, but Charlie always did travel in a case. This is nostalgic for me because I had one of these. This was a birthday or a Christmas gift when I was a kid, and I was trying to become a ventriloquist at the time, and I had seen a TV program where a ventriloquist doll had squirted water into its operator's face, and so I tried pouring water down its mouth, and it did not work. I ended up mildewing the entire doll and pretty much ruining it, wearing it out, leaving it outside too many times. Done with the flea market now. I'm on my way back to the festival grounds. This time I'm taking the scenic route through the park. And I think you guys are going to like this graffiti on this wall. I don't think this graffiti was like maliciously put here. It looks good enough. I could say it's possible it was actually paid to be placed here. Without doing a cut, maybe speeding the camera up a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and walk all the way down this wall and let you guys see all of it. And now we come to this replica of an old fort. And this one, I am completely in the dark about, guys. I don't know the name of it. I don't know which war it's from. I haven't been in there to read any of the plaques. Don't know on this one, and I don't have time to do it this morning. But it's still cool to look at, and I can promise I will get in there and actually educate myself on it and give you guys a closer look at it at some point this week. It just can't be this morning. Looks like today there's a reenactment of an encampment here that probably won't be here throughout the week. Wish I had more time to really get in there and talk to some of these people. But again, I do have to go to work today. Looks like they've got some kind of demonstration going on the cannon here.
So just so everyone knows that's standing here, this is training in progress. If you've looked at the schedule, we're not actually going to shoot it until 12. I just want to give you a heads up so you don't stand here in the sun and want to die.
That's fair. That is fair. Thank you. Okay. We're going beyond the Civil War. This one looks like it's from World War I. That's cool. I say that because that is a World War I helmet right there. The more flared lip around the outside. And the bolt actions. Definitely World War I. This flat fender Jeeps, that is World War II. I really like these things. They only have 4 cylinders, completely foldable, so you can see. You can take the tires off, place them in the back, and then that would make it where you could pack this entire thing in one crate. And they would stack crates of this, shipped it over to Germany to help with the war effort. And then, sadly enough, they figured it was more expensive to ship them back to America than to just dispose of them. So many of these flat fenders were just put in neutral and rolled into the ocean, never to be seen again. A lot of the flat fenders you see nowadays are actually replicas, because it was more expensive to bring them home than to just dispose of them. Rugged little Jeeps, though.
The same thing would be used, done with you flat down the shovel, and this is a nice little tool for matching in, for getting in underneath the helmet.
So real quick, I'm going to show you guys what I found at the flea market. First off, we've got the Universal Pictures, the original, I believe this is the original, The Invisible Man. So all those characters that you see on Hotel Transylvania and what they were trying to do with the Universal Pictures cinematic universe when they made The Mummy with Tom Cruise. Anyway, all of that started with these, the Universal monsters, the Wolfman, Frankenstein's monster, the Invisible Man, and Dracula and all those. Those are all pretty easy to find. This one's a little bit harder, so I was glad to find that today. Kind of finally get to see the origins of the Invisible Man. I got the VHS copy of Logan's Run in really minty condition. I mean, this is just like there's not a single scratch or anything on this. I hope I can keep it this good. And then we've got The Bride of Frankenstein. As easy as it is to find Mary Shelley's Frankenstein on VHS, DVD, all over the place, this one's a little bit harder to find. It was only $3. Now I get to see The Bride of Frankenstein, the character that inspired Trish and Elvira and so many other women of the night. Now, you guys, if you're a fan at all of Adult Swim and the Venture Brothers, you probably know of that one character that is a parody of Blade, but he only kills black vampires. And I finally found the reference that they're making a joke about. This is Blackula, the Soul Cinema Blackula. Now, looking at this, you would expect this to be a real exploitative movie, but it's really only rated PG. So, it's actually pretty tame, and I am interested to see what kind of mischief Blackula gets up to. Then I got X-Men First Class, which I did see in theaters, and I'm happy to own it on DVD now for $1. And then I got Mama's Boy because I was a big fan of Napoleon Dynamite, and so anytime I see John Heed in a starring role, I've got to see it. Now, none of his other movies have really made as big an impact as Napoleon Dynamite. Some of them have been pretty good, but I'm interested to see how this one is. I've heard people refer to it and quote it and all kinds of stuff, even though it's not really considered like mainstream. It is very quotable. And then I got Beverly Hillbillies, the remake with Jim Varney as Grandpa Clampett, which I actually saw this over at a friend's house once, and ever since then I wanted to find it on DVD, if nothing else, for that plane ride scene. That plane ride scene was worth paying a full admission into a theater. If I could pay full admission into a theater to see that plane ride scene by itself, I would do it. And then I found some Japanese anime I don't really know anything about, but it's got very pretty pictures on it, and it was $2. Now this, I do not know what this is, but it was $3. So a curiosity like this, I could make a video out of this one day if I can figure out what it is. It says Power Joy Solo on the bottom, and it's got what looks like some old N64 controllers on it, but it's got video and audio output, so it's got to be some kind of plug and play. But then again, there's a little power supply right there next to the video audio, and a place to put in AA batteries. Why do we need both? And there's a little port down here, a little 9-pin port, you know, the kind that the Genesis used and the Atari. So I don't know, there's probably a piece missing that was supposed to go in there, but it's a 9-pin port. I can find a substitute for whatever was supposed to go in there. But what is this? It looks like a pin. They've got a couple of like little infrared sensors on the front. What? This is going to be fun to figure out and play with. All right, and then, one black box game for $5 because it was a black box game that I didn't have yet, so now I have it. All right, that's pretty much it. So, hope I wasn't a little too long-winded with that, but here we go. The Three Rivers Festival Flea Market Haul 2018.
What are those? I mean, you can go on Amazon and buy kangaroo jumps.
Sunday now, day number 3, July 15th, 2018, and it looks like I've hit about the 19-minute mark, so this one's running a little long. Let me go ahead and end it. So, please,
smash that like button, comment, favorite, and share.
And of course, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that bell icon to start receiving notifications. I love you guys very much, and I will see you again in the next video.